will follow the agenda as it has been provided to you on the school website and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the GO team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the GO team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the FL Stanton GO team to order at 5:04 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. The secretary will now take the roll.
Can you hear me? Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And now the roll. Dr. McIntyre,
Present.
Jessica Rivers Tucker,
Was it?
Ashley Hendricks, Malik Lumumba, Tiffany Coleman,
Present.
Ashley Herbert,
Present.
Judy Lamore.
Present.
Okay.
And Miss Lumumba just joined us.
Okay. And I got Malika Lumumba. And that is the roll.
Yes, ma'am. So this team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Powell, is there a
There is a
quorum present?
quorum. There is a quorum.
Okay. We can proceed with our agenda. We will begin with our second. I have to use two different devices. We will proceed with our action items. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This is available on the website. Are there any changes to the agenda? May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I, Ashley Herbert, motion to approve the agenda.
I, Judy Lamore, second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye, Jessica Tucker.
I, Tiffany Coleman.
I, Stephanie Powell.
Hi, Malika Lumumba.
I, Judy Lamore.
Okay, let me see if I get Miriam so we can see about my hair.
Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. Our agenda has been approved. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was also posted to our FLS website. The meetings, are there any corrections to the meeting minutes? May I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I, Stephanie Powell, approve it.
A second?
I second Tiffany Coleman.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye, Jessica Tucker.
I, Tiffany Coleman.
I, Ashley Herbert.
I, Judy Lamore.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. Our minutes have been approved. We will proceed with our next action item, which is our swing seat vote. Dr. McIntyre?
So I did receive additional information today about the swing seat vote. And since we do not have a person that has accepted yet, we have 60 days from the time in which the seat became available, which I believe is August 28th. So we have until the end of October. So we should be able to bring our nominee for the swing seat to the next meeting, to our October meeting.
Yes, ma'am. We will move right along on our agenda with our discussion items. Um, our first order of business is the school strategic plan. We will discuss the strategic plan and priorities, and also the SMART goals. We'll move right into the data discussion after that from Dr. McIntyre as well, which include our MAP results and the 2025 Georgia milestones results. You have the floor, Dr. McIntyre.
Okay. And so, hold on just a moment. I'm going between two devices. Okay. So as Ms. Tucker mentioned, we will talk about our strategic plan and the alignment of that with our priorities and SMART goals, and then the spring map and GMAS. And then I have some information for the current enrollment and leveling on the principal's report and some additional information, and then some from the district to share about where to again find a comprehensive long-range facilities plan and survey. So just a reminder, this is our strategic plan that we revised last year. So I'll give you a moment to take a look at it. It does include our alignment to the APS strategic priorities with the school strategic priorities and then the specific school strategies. Our mission and vision that were revised last year to include information directly related to us being a STEAM school. Okay, so the following slides will take us, we'll put those strategic priorities back in front of us. But from our priorities that we named in the strategic plan, we then last year also ranked them in order from highest to lowest priority. So being the core content knowledge, being at the top, and then our opportunities for ensuring that our resources and professional learning were all aligned to those core content areas, and then also our engagement around the STEM program model and the community as well. So our connection of our strategic plan to our SIP SMART goals and key indicators for that. So SIP, our SIP is what we do every year, our continuous improvement plan. And so each year we develop a plan for the school. And it is aligned to goals that are directly related to Georgia milestones. And so for us this year, our SIP SMART goals are in the areas of literacy, mathematics. We included science because we wanted to focus our efforts around STEM, and then also attendance. So our connection in the order in which of our priorities as well. Implement rigorous instruction for mastery in core content areas as a part of our strategic plan. So our alignment to the SIP goal is that we will increase proficiency by 5% and ELA in science and actually 6% in math. And our key indicator is that is the student mastery on common assessments as well as increased MAP growth. Our strategic priority for engaging the community to support students' social, emotional, and learning needs. And our SMART goal that's associated with that is to increase the number of students that are not chronically absent by 5%, as well as to increase family engagement. And those key indicators are that we will have a decreased number of student absences, so that we won't have as many students on the chronically absent list, and then also increased family engagement, participation, and student learning experiences. Increased participation in student learning experiences and family events. Our strategic priority of increasing staff capacity and increasing opportunities for staff engagement, and that aligns to the SIP through the SMART goal of content area mastery and proficiency for the Georgia milestones. As we increase capacity for staff, we should see an increase in student outcomes. And so our key indicator for that is student mastery on school-based common assessments, increased MAP growth, as well as teacher participation in professional learning and coaching. Our last grouping of strategic priorities is to ensure that systems and resources support core content areas in STEM. And for that, that is also Georgia milestone proficiency. And as well, again, to see student mastery on assessments, MAP growth, and teacher participation in professional learning and coaching. I want to move us to our data discussion. And so I will share our spring. So these are our spring MAT results. I did have an opportunity to share that, I believe, at the end of the year last year, but this is how we looked for both reading and math at the time of the MAP. So that was March. Remember, we took milestones in May. So this is where we were in the spring. So I'll give you a few moments to take a look. And when at May for our milestones, this is where we were. Okay, so some things that we've noticed are as we think about, are we on target to successfully accomplish our priorities? So our glows and grows, our glows are the student schedule accommodates time for student clinics in writing and reading and math for target student groups. So we started this at the end of the year last year, and we're able to implement this more as our strategic priority specifically names writing. We have started writing clinics, which meaning there's focus time to just bring the entire grade level together to work on a writing skill that the coach, our literacy coach, is able to work with the students and the teachers, but everyone's receiving the same messaging. And then we're able to break the students into groups because all of the teachers on the grade level and all support staff for that grade level are able to support the students at the same time. We're taking that same approach this year for target student groups in reading and math as we look at common assessments as well as map data to implement that same model for reading and math. We also have dedicated time for teacher professional learning sessions to internalize the content and analyze data on a weekly and or bi-weekly basis. So we've been able to do that on a weekly basis for grade levels second through fifth grade, and then bi-weekly basis for kindergarten and first grade. We've also increased our family engagement opportunities, and we've already started to see an increase in participation. Even this year, we had a grandparents' brunch this week, which had an enormous turnout. Our areas of growth are learning the new literacy standards and the new literacy curriculum. So, as we continue to look at the data in literacy, now that the state has adopted new standards and as a district we've adopted a new curriculum, this will be a time to push literacy, continue to push literacy forward. But it will take we are um, gathering traction as we move to embrace the new standards and curriculum. Also determining additional student groups for intervention and enrichment. So we know that it's important for us to not only work on intervention and filling gaps, which we are accustomed to doing, but we're also determining a need that we have to start moving students from developing to proficient and proficiency to distinguished. And in order to do that, we have to start working more on what do we do when students get it. We can't leave out that population. So, our discussion protocol, what do you notice? What are your wonderings? Based on our school's data from our MAP assessments and end of the year test assessments, which subgroups or grade levels have shown the most significant gaps or unexpected trends? And then, based on our school's data from the MAP assessments and milestones, are there specific trends that require more focused attention? And what additional questions do you have? So I'll open the floor now for our discussion. Anyone, what did you notice or wonder about the data that you saw?
Did notice that the most the data for the third grade from last year, the GMAS compared to the MAP results were not that far off from each other for reading, but they were far off for math. Where in reading the red was still a really huge spot for reading in both, but for math the yellow increased for third grade.
Yes, our milestones results are really showing that it's about half and half. It's either they're developing and proficient or the other half is beginning. And so we struggled with MAP in especially in third grade ELA, and that continued to be an area. And so the milestone results reflected that. We did a really big push in third grade, as I was talking about the clinics before. Really big push in third grade to do some math clinics with third grade and bringing the whole grade level together and all the staff really supporting them, and that really did a wonderful job at making significant growth and pushing students to developing, which is why we want to keep that same model. We figure if we can push them to developing, we can use that same intense approach and push them to proficiency. Okay. All right. Are there any other questions? Comments?
I have to wonder a little bit, just for your own knowledge, is there a way to individualize this data in order to track kids who stay at Stanton from one year to the next? Because I know we have a fair amount of transiency, and so sometimes it's hard to look at data from spring to fall or fall to spring because you're not really tracking the same kids.
So we actually just had that discussion yesterday. Glad you brought that up. So in MAP, it's harder to do with milestones data, just in the way that it's presented for us. But in MAP, if in the NWEA site, it actually allows us to be able to take a look at the students that were actually rostered taking the test last year. Those same students, how that are rostered this year, how are they doing on MAP? So we were able to start to drill down to do that exact work, and we shared that data with staff yesterday. I can tell you that we are noticing that um, students that are staying with us, um, they are on a trend and a trajectory to do a little better. This year, though, with our map fall data, so it didn't ask for that because we've just finished that, but we are seeing some increases in our now fall data. So we are interested to see from fall to winter how the students that have been with us will do, that have been through some of this intense support over the past 2 years, and see if that indeed looks the way it trended when Stanton was coming off the list and that same kind of focus was done.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right. So our timeline for the Go teams for we are now at step 4. So in the fall, we've been moving. So from 2021, summer, August, we are now at September, December. Go team reviews progress on current strategic plan, which is what we did today, and develops a 2030 school strategic plan. So in our upcoming meetings this semester, we will be working on a 2025-2030 plan. As the school district has just done that work, we will then ensure that our school priorities are aligned to the district priorities for the new plan. And then before the winter break, we will take action and vote on and rank the strategic plan priorities for 26-27 in preparation for budget discussions. Any questions? Okay. All right. So I have maybe good news and bad news. So we had good news that we had a projected enrollment of 214. Not so good news is that we have not seen that enrollment yet. However, we have seen an increased enrollment from last year. So we have moved from roughly about 150 to 155 students to now 192 students. However, there's still a difference from our projected enrollment of 22, of a negative 22. However, when the budget adjustments were made, that included enrollment changes, school reserves, Title One, and Part A, as well as Title One family engagement, when we looked at all those funds of where the negative and the positive reserves were, we netted zero. So yes, there's also a hold harmless to support academic stability. So the budgets were not reduced beyond the school reserves. So our school reserves covered our ended up covering our difference. So that netted us zero. So we have not had to level. We have not had to lose any staff. Of course, we didn't gain any staff either, but we have not had to lose staff. So, what we anticipated with our budget conversations last year, we are able to continue with that work and staff and resources. Looking forward, so with our comprehensive long range facilities plan, as I mentioned briefly in our organizational meeting, there are task force presentations that are available from the meeting in May and the meeting in August. And the upcoming public meetings are October 20th and November 10th. So there's an opportunity for virtual and in-person meetings. So those are the dates. I would recommend that you do take a moment to go to the website and actually look at the facilities plan presentation, as well as complete the survey to give feedback. Also, share it amongst the community and families to engage to also review the plan and provide any feedback as you see fit. Some additional information and announcements that we have. We have completed, so we were able for open house to give away some bikes, courtesy of Safe Routes to School. Gave us several bikes, and so we were able to raffle off some of those during open house. The winners of those bikes were allowed to participate in a bike safety class that was sponsored by Propel. And so that happened on August 26th. This week that we are in right now is World Literacy Week. And so we've had events all this week, and they will continue for the remaining part of the week. So Monday we had Pennies for Pages, where students brought in change and were able to purchase books, and those that didn't bring in change still got books. So it was a great event. On Tuesday was our grandparents brunch. The turnout was amazing. And because it was World Literacy Week, we, and in alignment with our strategic plan, we had a content focus. And so that content focus was literacy. So our content coaches shared with our grandparents ways in which they could support their scholars in increasing their literacy proficiency. Then today we had a literacy pep rally. So we acknowledged and celebrated everyone, encouraged everyone to read, but we specifically celebrated those that did well, proficiency and distinguished on MAP, those that were um, leveled up in reading A to Z. So our program, Reading A to Z, allows students to read at their level. And then once they've completed that level, they are able to rise to the next. So it supports their reading and upward trajectory and increasing their lexile levels. We also have Science A to Z that was supported. We've been encouraging students to read on their own and log minutes in the Beanstack. And so those that have been logging minutes were celebrated. We also had an opportunity to celebrate the teachers, the homeroom teachers that have been encouraging their students to level up their reading and read those additional minutes. So they also received prizes today. Tomorrow, we will have an activity called Leaders Who Read. So we've invited district leadership. So we will have our deputy superintendent, we will have our cluster superintendent, we will have leaders from human resources, leaders from communications, so various departments, leaders from instructional technology that will be coming to read to our scholars. So we're really excited about that. And then Friday is our book character parade, where students will get a chance to dress up as their favorite book character. Um, that's in the morning. In the afternoon, Cone Crushers is coming and to support our students with additional bike safety, but it's also a STEM activity as well. So it's an opportunity for STEAM to meet bike safety is what we're calling it. So they will identify road and environmental hazards and then utilize the course to practice bike safety and pedestrian travel. So we are really excited about that partnership as well. So some of these have come from our work with Safe Routes to School. We are also partnering with Chick-fil-A in Vine City, and the first event is Toys and Smiles with first responders. So that will be on Saturday. They will be giving out toys and smiles and hugs and all of that from the first responders in the area. And then our first family engagement night will be on the 23rd, and it will be an academic tailgate party. So students will get a chance to share their data and their goals with their parents, um, as well as get some activities on literacy and math to help their growth between now and the next MAP administration. And the last announcement is from our Go Team office. So we have some save the date. The G3 Summit will be September 27th from 8:30 to 2:30. So please register for that.
Please register for that. Please register for that.
Okay. And so are there any questions? Well, that's all I have.
Well, I have a question. Where is the summit? Is it a location or is this virtual?
It's at the Career Center, which used to be Parks Middle School.
Hmm, okay. I don't know what that is, but okay.
But
Okay.
I'll send out the information in the group meet as well as in a email. I know the Go Team has been sending it to you guys, but I'll go ahead and just send it to you guys as well in our
Okay.
group email.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Are there any other questions? Any other announcements? Miss Judy, do you have any updates that you need to give?
I don't, considering
Okay.
we just had our last meeting 2 weeks ago. And
Yes, ma'am.
and our regional director who supervises Camp Jenny is getting married on Saturday. So we're sort of on a pause of plans until after she's married.
Yes, ma'am. Not a problem. We have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I
I
actually
motion
said-
to adjourn. Oh, I motion to adjourn Malika Lumumba.
Okay.
A second?
I
I
second.
second to adjourn Ashley Herbert.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye, Jessica Tucker.
I,
Hi,
Stephanie
Judy
Powell.
Lamore.
I Tiffany
I Malika
Coleman.
Lumumba. Oh,
All opposed, please say nay.
nay. No opposing.
Any abstentions? All right.